All right, y'all. A lot of news this week, especially the last 2 days about Vince McMahon and all these allegations, these terrible allegations against him. If any of it's true, he is actually in jail pretty much. And apparently, like during SmackDown or after SmackDown, he resigned, and Nick Khan like sent out a message to, or he like sent out like a statement or whatever that Vince McMahon resigned because they were losing sponsors. I saw Slim Jim pause their sponsorship with them. So a lot of news this week. The Netflix thing, SmackDown tonight, and then we got the Royal Rumble tomorrow. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. Okay. Vince McMahon has been accused of sex trafficking in a disturbing lawsuit by a former WWE employee, as summarized in the Wall Street Journal. Former WWE employee Janelle Grant has accused Vince McMahon of trafficking in a lawsuit that also references former employees and a current wrestler. As noted in the lawsuit, Grant began working for the company in 2019 as an administrator coordinator in the legal department, which is created by McMahon. It is stated that Grant felt that the position was unearned, but McMahon's response was, "It just has to look legit." So he basically promoted her, even though that she didn't earn it. That's a red flag right there. Prior to being employed by the company, Grant was looking for a job after her parents passed away. Introduced to McMahon as he had a penthouse in Grant's apartment complex. McMahon would frequently greet Grant in his underwear and ask for hugs. Another red flag there. That's disturbing, man. Later being pressured into sexual activity for the aforementioned employment. The lawsuit outlines the graphic nature of the lawsuit against McMahon, including SA and inappropriate messages. One instead accuses McMahon of locking Grant in his private locker room and forcing himself on her over a massage table. Ooh, this is like predatory behavior, man. Criminal stuff. If it's true, it's all allegations. I don't think a lot of people are gonna give him a pass because of his history with other female wrestlers and stuff, and all the stuff he's done with the divas on like during the show or like on the Raw and SmackDown, like during the live TV shows. He made Trish Stratus bark like a dog that like years ago and all other stuff. Additionally, McMahon and another executive took turns essaying the employee while others were still working. A disturbing message from McMahon that Grant is in the filings, stating, "I'm the only one who owns you and controls you, who I want to F you." Man, it's some pretty disturbing stuff, man. Can't be treating people like this if it's true, man. Dude, this guy's like a billionaire, man. Getting his perv on or whatever. Man also has explicit photos of Grant that he sent to other employees, executives, and stars, and would also direct Grant to have sex with them. McMahon's horrific demands would continue, including forcible using sex toys named after WWE wrestlers. Man, what? Come on, man. That's just weird and nasty, man. On Grant that caused bruising and bleeding. McMahon has been accused of defecating on Grant's head during a threesome. That's just nasty, man. Come on, dude. The lawsuit also names John Laurinaitis. Oh, not the people power guy. Come on, man. People power. Monday Night Raw. Come on. That dude's been gone for like 2 years though when McMahon retired and he came back. Laurinaitis, who was recruited by McMahon to have sex with Grant. Furthermore, the lawsuit states that McMahon and Laurinaitis forced themselves on her and took turns restraining her for the other while saying no means yes and take it, B word. Laurinaitis left the company in 2022. July 2021, McMahon ordered Grant to produce sexual content for a WWE superstar. They were trying to re-sign. Superstar and has been identified as a UFC fighter and WWE talent. The lawsuit states that McMahon shared the content with the wrestler and that he likes what he sees. When the wrestler signed a new deal in August 2021, McMahon informed Grant that part of the deal was effing you. In 2022, Grant signed an NDA in which McMahon would agree to pay $3 million. The lawsuit alleges that McMahon made no further payments after the original $1 million settlement. So she signed an NDA, and then McMahon and Vince McMahon agreed to pay 3 million, but then he only paid 1 million. So he pretty much violated his own NDA that he set up for her to sign. Come on, man. So much disturbing stuff. Um, McMahon forced Grant to sign the NDA as Linda McMahon had become aware of the relationship. Despite the NDA being signed, McMahon would continue to abuse Grant and force her to oral S with him at the time or within the last time they met. McMahon also attempted to traffic Grant to the WWE star in March 2022 and forced Grant to continue to send explicit photos. The suit is seeking to void the agreement and for financial damages, which the amount is unspecified. This is the latest in allegations about Vince McMahon that began in 2022 when it was reported that the WWE chairman paid $12 million in hush money to 4 women and then he would retire from the company. Amidst the allegations in July 2022 before returning in early 2023. And then during Smackdown, there's a statement from Nick Khan, or in a, what was it? Yeah, so yeah, he told his employees in an email, I wanted to inform you that Vince McMahon tendered his resignation from his positions as TKO executive chairman and on the TK board of directors. He will no longer have a role. TKO Group Holdings or WWE. All right, scroll down further here. This is Vince McMahon's. I think this is his statement. It's a spokesperson or it's him. It says it's McMahon's. I stand by my prior statement that Miss Grant's lawsuit is replete with lies, obscene, made-up instances that never occurred and is a vindictive distortion of the truth. McMahon said this evening of the scorching lawsuit against him filed earlier this week. I intend to vigorously defend myself against these baseless accusations and look forward to clearing my name. However, out of respect for the WWE Universe, extraordinary TKO business, and its board members and shareholders, partners, and cons constituents, I think that's how you say it, and all of the employees and superstars who help make WWE the global leader it is today. I've decided to resign from my executive chairmanship and the TKO board of directors, effective immediately. That's it for that. All right, it's a lot to unpack here. All right, so if he's found guilty, like if any of the allegations in the lawsuit, I already read the lawsuit. There's no point in going for it. I'm pretty sure you guys have probably read it too. Some disturbing allegations. If he's pretty much found guilty of it, I think his ass should be in jail. No point in keeping him around. He's just gonna be a distraction for everybody. And remember when didn't he show up on SmackDown 2 years ago when they or when he like when the news like when we first got the news and he showed up on SmackDown and he's like smiling and waving and stuff. He's like, I'm still here, or I forgot what he said when he on the segment, but he didn't even respond to it during the segment. So yeah, it's the egomaniac, I guess. Just throwing his weight around, just doing whatever he wants. And he's a history of it, so people are not gonna give him a pass for this because he's apparently he's been harassing women like ever since like the 80s, I think. Who was that? I can't remember her name. He like, messed with that one of the divas in the limo or something. And then he had the steroid trial in the 90s. Allegedly been giving painkillers to his wrestlers, and then got the whole Owen Hart situation. He escaped from that. Just a whole bunch of stuff. And it's like harassing divas from before. And this guy's done a lot of terrible stuff allegedly. So who knows what comes out of this? Hopefully, hopefully it doesn't come back. I don't know. It's just, I don't even know if, yeah, just not sure, man. These are serious allegations, man. I don't know. But yeah, they had to do something because you had all the big news this week of the Netflix stuff. And you got the Royal Rumble this week. So yeah, they couldn't have, I guess they couldn't have him a part of WWE because you're losing sponsor or whatever. So that's like you're losing money. So yeah. All right, let's move on to SmackDown now. All right, so SmackDown opened up with, hold on, let me go back here. Rapper, never heard of him. Eladio, never heard of him. Says these boys are Randy Orton, and Randy Orton gets out there. Says you guys probably didn't even know, and I'm friends with this guy. Says the bloodline has had one hell of a run these last few years. One reason is because Roman Reigns has held the title for almost 1,300 days. Nobody can stop him. Nobody can stop the bloodline except maybe me. Only thing that is going to matter is number 15. And he says the 15 time when I win the title, I'm going to become a 15-time world champion when I defeat Roman Reigns with the three most dangerous letters RKO. And then AJ Styles, his music hits. Says there's other people in this match with Roman Reigns. You forgot that, Randy. He says, did you look past AJ Styles? Did you forget about me, Randy? You should know better. We have history, Randy. After you RKO'd me last week, you got a receipt coming. So, little threat from AJ Styles there. I like that. And after he says that, LA Knight's music hits. Yeah, let me talk to you. AJ, ever since you came back, all you do is whine, complain, and cry. Quit your crying, dummy. Four guys in the match tomorrow. I'm the only one with a match tonight. Says Paul Heyman lobby to soften me up. Why? Because I'm the biggest threat. And then AJ gave Randy Orton his receipt with the Pele kick. And that was it for the segment. So that was a solid opening segment. Not too bad to start the show. All right, next up we got Santos Escobar versus Carlito. Santos hits a suicide dive. Then he rips off Carlito's t-shirt and he had that KP tape or KT tape, I think it's called. Yeah, so he rips that off. He starts working on his shoulder. Carlito hit a drop kick on Santos. Then he hit a swinging neck breaker for a 2 count. Carlito hit a spine buster. And then we had LDF. They tried to help Santos. So they made a distraction. And then I think Angel, he's the one that held the ropes down. And Carlito went running, like running to the outside after he opened the ropes up. And then they had a brawl, LDF and LWO outside the ring. And then this diva or from yeah, this diva from NXT showed up. I forgot about her name. Electra something. Electra Lope. I can't remember her last name. Electra. So she beat up Zelina Vega on the outside, and then Santos rolled up Carlito for the win. Yeah, that's her right there. Yeah, right there's a pin. Okay. Yeah, that was it for that. So yeah, that was a solid match. Santos with the win, so they're clearly pushing him. So we'll see what happens next. Just waiting for Rey Mysterio to come back so we can make this feud exciting. All right, next up we got a segment in the back with AJ Styles and Jimmy Uso. Jimmy says, "Man, help us get rid of LA Knight, Us, which is good for you and us. Let me know what you think." That was it for that. So Jimmy trying to get AJ Styles help to take out LA Knight. So we'll see what happens later in the night. What was pretty predictable what was going down at the end of the night. Got another backstage segment. This one's with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. And it's Nick Aldis and Ava Raine, Rock's daughter. She's like the GM of NXT now or something. Then he like congratulated her on that. And then Lashley draws his number, and then Santos guys show up. He draws his number. So they brought back what's the golden tumbler that they used to do. All the wrestlers would draw their numbers. So I like that. We just start doing that every year. That's what they used to do. All right, then we got another segment with R-Truth, and yeah, so R-Truth. So he's spinning the tumbler. He, he says both ways, man. He spins it clockwise and he spins it counterclockwise and he draws his number. And he called Nick Aldis Adam Pierce like Mr. Pierce, or you grow your hair you grow your hair real fast. It was hilarious, man. All right, we got a segment in the back with the bloodline. Paul Heyman says, last week you solved the problem. He's talking to Solo here. You got instructions to fix the problem. Don't be merciful. And then Solo says, okay. Solo leaves. And then here's where I get a little interesting with Paul Heyman and Jimmy. Says to Jimmy, your cousin Roman Reigns went from big dog to tribal chief because he seized the moment. This weekend, there's a moment for Jimmy Uso to seize on Raw. There's a world champ with one leg. He thinks he's a visionary, going to Mania looking to be a martyr. You need to make him a martyr. You need to enter the Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble, challenge Seth and beat him for the title, and bring a world title to the bloodline. The line of succession to who truly is the tribal heir all starts. These dumb ads keep popping up. Okay, yeah, so line of succession to who truly is the tribal heir all starts at the Royal Rumble. So very interesting there. And Paul Heyman's trying to get Jimmy to go in the Royal Rumble and win the title and bring the title to the bloodline. Just don't see that happening. The main events are pretty much set. Most of the main event matches are pretty much set at WrestleMania because of all the feuds that all the segments that have been going on with CM Punk, especially when Seth Rollins started going crazy after the War Games match in Survivor Series back in November. So yeah, Jimmy Uso's not winning the Rumble, not even close. All right, next up we got the face-to-face segment in the ring with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits and what's the group called? Final Testament. So Lashley's out there. He says, "Here we go, chasing cowards," and he calls out Final Testament. And they're on the stage, and Montez Ford says, "For Final Testament are scared." Paul Ellering, he's got a mic. He says, "There is no fear in Cross." And then he hands a mic over to Karrion Cross. And Cross says, "Every time I look at you three, I see frustration. You feel like things aren't going according to plan. We are face to face." So this is where Scarlett. Hold on, let me go backwards. Yeah, so they just sent Scarlett to the ring, and then Lashley and Street Profits are all frustrated because it was supposed to be face to face with everybody in the ring. And then so Cross says, "Every time I look at you three, I see frustration. You feel like things aren't going according to plan. We are face to face. You're not getting your fight tonight." And then Lashley says, "You lied because you said we're not fighting tonight." So Street Profits make a beeline for Final Testament. Scarlett jumps on Bobby Lashley's back. She's like trying to get a hold of his neck or just restrain him or something. And then Karrion Cross shows up in the ring to attack Lashley. And then Authors of Pain attack the Street Profits. And the Final Testament, all members attack Bobby Lashley. That's pretty much it for that. I thought it was a decent segment. Good thing to build, good segment to build on for next week. So we'll see what happens with that. But so far, I like what I'm seeing with the Karrion Cross and the Authors of Pain. Hopefully, it just works this time and he doesn't keep losing match after match and then he just disappears forever again. All right, next up we got Jimmy Uso in the back. He picks his number and then he looks at his number and he's not too happy about it. So he's probably maybe he enters in like the first 5 to 8 picks in the Rumble, first 5 to 8 people in the Rumble. So he's probably gonna be, yeah, I'm probably thinking either 8 or lower is his number. Wasn't too thrilled about it, Jimmy. All right. Next up, we got Melo Hayes versus Austin Theory. And then, yeah, so just didn't really care for this match. And then, so Austin Theory wins with because he rolled up, he had a handful of Melo Hayes' tights. And then Trick Williams comes out to help, right there. He comes out to help, his buddy, Melo Hayes. And the crowd started, they started doing the whoop that trick, whoop that chant. I love that chant. That's from, that chant's from, I remember from Hustle and Flow, a rap movie with Terrence Howard back in the day. But y'all gotta check that out. That's where the chant started from. He used that. There's a song called "Whoop That Trick" from that soundtrack, and he does this "Whoop That Trick" chant in it. So pretty sure that's what where Trick Williams got the chant from. And yeah, so he helped Mello beat up Theory and Grayson Waller. So maybe it's gonna be a tag match next week. Trick Williams and Mello Hayes versus Theory and Waller soon. Maybe next week or the week after. We'll see. All right, next up, we got another segment in the back. This Eladio guy, Randy's buddy. He picks Randy Orton to win the title tomorrow night in the Fatal 4-Way. Bloodline shows up. Solo's like staring at him the whole time. Paul Heyman, the closer Solo gets, or the moving, they're like walking behind him. Paul Heyman says, oh, he's respectful. He's respectful. Solo like slowly goes around him, staring, giving him a death stare. It's hilarious. All right, next up we got the main event. LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa. Let's go. Oh no. Uh, Let's go with that picture. LA Knight hit a bulldog, then LA Knight hit a DDT. LA Knight he bashes Solo's head into the announce table. I think about 7, 8 times. Can't remember. And AJ Styles shows up, hits a phenomenal forearm on LA Knight. AJ tosses LA Knight into the steps, and then so remember that earlier segment where Jimmy tried to recruit AJ to help him beat up LA Knight? So this is where AJ Styles is like trying to set up the announce table, but Jimmy he's like he's like setting up for a chair shot. AJ Styles sees this, and Jimmy's like all cool with it, and he slides the chair over to AJ, and Solo says to AJ, "Take care of it before I take care of you." And then AJ hits Solo and Jimmy with the chair in the guts. Randy comes out. He drops Solo on the announce table right there. And then Randy hit a DDT after Jimmy tried to run. That's hilarious. Look at Jimmy's face right there. He hit the DDT. And then he hit AJ with the DDT. No, they don't have a picture of it. Oh, that's it. Okay, yeah. So he hit AJ with DDT. Then he hit RKO on AJ. And then out of nowhere, LA Knight hit the BFT on Randy Orton. And that was pretty much it for SmackDown. So yeah, I thought it was an okay SmackDown. I liked the opening segment with the Raw, all three of the guys, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight. And then I liked the Karrion Kross Final Testament segment with Lashley and the Prophets. That was an okay SmackDown tonight. So yeah, should be a good Royal Rumble tomorrow. See what happens. All right, next up, I want to talk about this. Big news. Netflix has become the new home of Raw, WWE Raw, beginning 2025, so next year. WWE is pretty much going to be on Netflix for like 10 years. Getting in 2025, January 2025, next Netflix will be the exclusive home of Raw in the US, Canada, UK, and Latin America, among other territories. Netflix will also become the home for all WWE shows and specials outside the US as available, inclusive of Raw and WWE's other weekly shows, SmackDown and NXT, as well as the company's premium live events, including WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Royal Rumble, WWE's award-winning documentaries, original series and forthcoming projects will also be available on Netflix internationally beginning in 2025. This deal is transformative, said Mark Shapiro, TPO president and COO. It marries the can't miss WWE product with Netflix's where was it? Extraordinary global reach and locks in significant and predictable economics. For many years, our partnership fundamentally alters and strengthens the media landscape, dramatically expands the reach of WWE, and brings weekly live appointment viewing to Netflix. We are excited to have WWE Raw with its huge and passionate multi-general fan base on Netflix, said Netflix Chief Content Officer Bella Jaria. Is that right? I don't know. By combining our reach, recommendations, and fandom with WWE, we'll be able to deliver more joy and value for the audiences and our members. Raw is the best of sports entertainment, blending great characters and storytelling with live action 52 weeks a year. Thrilled to be in this long-term partnership with WWE. In its relatively short history, Netflix has engineered a phenomenal track record for storytelling, said Nick Khan, WWE president. We believe Netflix has one of the world's largest entertainment brands, is the ideal long-term home for Raw's live, loyal, and ever-growing fan base. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so not sure. This is gonna be the first time ever WWE is gonna be like not be on cable TV. So that's gonna be a change for some people. I'm just not sure about that. I've been so used to it being on TV. I don't know. Hopefully this works out for them. Because didn't Smackdown gonna go to USA Network, so I guess that's just for the States because here I'm in Canada here. So the whole thing's gonna be on Netflix starting next year. I don't know. It's gonna be weird to have WWE on Netflix, man, on the streaming service opposed to cable television. So yeah, hopefully this is a good thing. And I think I read somewhere they can opt out. That's not doesn't say on this article, but they can. It's a 10-year deal, $5 billion. That's a lot, man. And can't believe somebody actually paid $5 billion for this to air uh, to air WWE on their streaming service. That's crazy. So yeah, oh yeah, it said in a different article, it doesn't say on this one that they can opt out after 5 years. It's a 10-year deal. So if they're not making a lot, making their projected money or earnings or whatever, they can opt out Netflix, and then WWE have to go somewhere else if that happens. So we'll see. But yeah, it's gonna take some time to adjust to it, I guess, for WWE being on Netflix. At least you get all the shows on it. I think it said Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Yeah, right there. And you get the pay-per-views too, so yeah. I always go to my buddy's house to watch the pay-per-views. So now I can just watch them at home because he's got the network. So I think the network's gonna be done now, WWE Network. So yeah, all the stuff, so all the main shows and pay-per-views all gonna be on Netflix. So I guess yeah. So hopefully it works out for them. All right, last thing, do Royal Rumble predictions. Only 4 matches on the show this year. Last week was 5. All right, first match. Let's go with the Women's Royal Rumble. Gonna be either Bayley or Becky Lynch. My pick's gonna be Becky Lynch to win the Women's Royal Rumble. She's probably most likely gonna face Rhea Ripley from the segments they've been doing on Raw. Second match, Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. This is Logan Paul's first title defense of his United States Championship. Pretty obvious Logan Paul's gonna win here. And now Kevin Owens is not gonna have the cast on his arm to use as a weapon, or Logan Paul's gonna sue him. He's had a serious lawsuit, and they got a lawsuit and a storyline. And yeah, this is his first title defense. He's not gonna lose his first title defense. So I picked Logan Paul to win this, and he's most likely gonna lose the U.S. title at WrestleMania to LA Knight. My pick's Logan Paul. Men's Royal Rumble match. I think out of most years, the Royal Rumble matches are predictable. Well, especially for this year, the men's Royal Rumble especially. I've been debating back and forth between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, and now maybe Gunther's a threat to win the Rumble since the injury to Rollins. So you never know. I think the final four will be CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Gunther, and Drew McIntyre. I'm gonna go with my prediction that I made earlier for my predictions video for the year. I'm still sticking with CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble. Cody might win and go back to back because they were talking about on Raw that nobody's won back to back since Stone Cold in what year was it? 90, I can't remember what year. Was it 90s? No, because Shawn Michaels won twice. Is it 97 and 98? Hold on, let me look this up. Royal Rumble winners by year. Let's check this out. Yeah, 97, I had it right. 97, 98. So yeah, nobody's done it in 20, how many years is that? 97, oh wait, 98 to 08 to 2018. What's that about 20, 26, 26 years, 27 years, something like that. So yeah, it's been a long time since we had a back-to-back Rumble winner. But yeah, I'm still gonna stick with CM Punk with my earlier prediction this year to win the Royal Rumble. And then the last match, Fatal Four Way, got Randy Orton versus AJ Styles versus LA Knight. And Roman Reigns is defending his title against all three of them. Pretty obvious Roman Reigns is gonna retain this title, and he's gonna hit 1,300 days for his title reign after he wins this. And then we'll see if they do the match with The Rock at WrestleMania or the match with Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Should be with Cody. You can always do because if you don't, because Roman's not being advertised for Chamber, but last year he wasn't advertised for the Elimination Chamber, and he was on the show. So we're not gonna know until because these wrestling reporters think they know everything. They really don't. They know much as about the behind the scenes stuff as pretty much any of us guys on the internet. Because these guys think they think they're close with the wrestlers, but they're really not. They think they are, but they're really not, man. They don't know anything, these wrestling reporters. Just look at last year alone, man. Remember, what was it? Oh, WWE got sold to Saudi Arabia. That was another false story right there, man. And people ran away with it, thought WWE got sold to Saudi Arabia. They were wrong on that. And then you had what was it, around it was like before WrestleMania, like around February, March. Can't remember what month, but it was around that time. They said there was a report that Roman Reigns was just off until the summer, off until SummerSlam or something. So people thought Cody Rhodes was gonna beat Roman Reigns to the title, and that ended up being false. And he even told, I remember the interview that Ariel Helwani he did with Roman. He straight up asked him, "So you're gonna take some time off? You have any plans of taking time off?" He said no. And then he was right. He didn't take any time off, and he beat Cody Rhodes. So you got two instances right there, and there was a whole bunch last year. The wrestling reporters got most of the stuff they reported that was wrong, like storyline wise. They have no clue, man. So yeah, Roman Reigns is gonna retain the title this year, or at the Royal Rumble, and that's pretty much it for this one. See everybody tomorrow for Royal Rumble. Should be a good. I'm really excited for the men's Royal Rumble match. Hopefully it's good. Royal Rumble, only four matches because both the Rumble matches are at least gonna go over an hour now. And then the Fatal Four Way probably about 25, 30 minutes, and then Logan Paul KO about 20, 15, 20 minutes. End up being 3 hours, over 3 hours. So yeah, should be a good show tomorrow or a Rumble. I'll see everybody tomorrow for the Rumble review, and that's pretty much it. See ya.